Hello everyone, my name is Narichi. I'm from the group for Normal Potatoes. For the course of computer organization architecture, we are required to do a project which requires us to simulate a vending machine which shown in this code below. So for the data, we have the byte, which is welcome to Coffeeholic vending machine, and then with a subscription with the amount of money required to buy the drink. You can see in this code. Beside, we have the string byte. Like, please input the money, and then what's the amount of money you need to input for the 10 cent, 20 cent, and 50 cent. After that, we'll display what's the value of the money that is entered by the user. Then we have the item to choose for the user. Today we have the data about your changes is what, and then enjoy your drink. This is a subscription after the user have entered the drink and select the drink. So now we'll continue for the code below. So basically, we will have the loop, which inside the loop, we have several class, like we have to create the string, and then we have the greeting one, menu, greeting two, and then we have the insert coins, selection, and then drinks. So then we have the farewell and web message. All right. For the class greeting one prop, we'll move the EDS to the string 19, which is the string 19 you can see is welcome to the Coffeeholic vending machine. All right. After that, we'll call right string, and then we call for the next line, which is CRLF. Then we move the ES to the offset string one. We call the right string and we return to the main prop here. Okay, after that, we'll go to the menu prop. Same, we will call for the next line, and then we'll move ES to the offset string 2. Okay, you can see the string 2 here is the description for the amount of money to buy the drink. So then we'll call the right string, and then we'll call for the next line. Then we'll return back to the main prop. Okay, and then the next one is the greeting 2 prop. We move the EDS to the offset string 3, which is this line. You can see here the string 3. And then we'll call the right string, and then we return to the main prop. After that, we have the insert coin prop. We call for the next line, and then we move the EDS to offset string 4. So the string 4 is about please input the input money. So we ask the user to enter the amount of money that she wants to input. So here we call the right string, and then we'll call the next line. After that, we move the EDS to the offset string 5, and then we call the right string. So the string 5 is the amount of 10 cents that will input by the user. And then in this line, we'll call for the right string. We call for the read int. So we require the user to input the data, which is integer. After that, we move the variable tree to EAS. So the variable tree is bow tree is, the bow 1 and bow 2. Okay, the bow 1 and bow 2 is about the 10 cents, and then the bow 3 and bow 4 is about 20 cents, and then bow 6 is about 50 cents. All right, so after we move the bow 3 to EAS, and then we move the EAS to the bow 3. All right, and then I'll multiply with the bow 4. Next, we'll move the bow 3 into EAS. Then we'll call for the next line. So that we'll move the EDS to the offset string 7. So the string 7 is, all right. The string 7 is the amount of 50 cents, they will input by the user. Okay. So they will call the right string, and it will be the same. We'll call the read integer. Okay, and then the process will be the same for the the user will input the 10 cent and 20 cent, as well as for the 50 cent. Okay, after we have end out the insert client class, we'll move to the selection port. For the selection port, we will call for the next line. We move the EDS to the offset string line. Okay, our string line is please choose the item. So for this class, will determine what type of the string will decided by the user. So we'll move the ES or move the ES to 0. This means we will clear. All right, not clear. Sorry. And then we'll call for the right string. We call for a read integer. So it's the same. We'll ask the user to input the integer, which will represent each number represent the different type of string. Okay. So after we call the read in integer, and then we'll move the select to the EAS. After that, we'll return back to the main port. Then we call for the string port. For the string port, we'll move the EAS to a select. So the select here is we refer back to the what type of number that is chosen by the user. Then we'll compare the EAS with the number 1. If the user chooses number 1, we'll jump equals to the T. And then if the user chooses number 2, we'll compare EAS to 2, and then we'll jump equals to choco. And then if the user chooses number 3, we'll compare EAS with 3, and then we'll move to the coffee. And it's same for the last one, mocha. Okay. Then for the next one, we have T. We move EAS to offset string 18. So the string 18 is quantity. So we will require the user to enter the quantity of the string that needed by the user. And then we'll move the quantity to EAS, and then move EAS to quantity, and then we'll multiply with the vowel 7. So the vowel 7 is 60. Right. Vowel 7. Okay. Then move the EBS to total. We subtract the EBS with the EAS. After that, we move the change from the EBS. Then we call the next line. But then we move EDS from offset. We'll move the EDS from offset string 14. Then we call the right string. After that, we will return the class. So it's the same for the class choco, coffee, and mocha. All right. And next, we'll move to the drink class. So for the balance class. So for the balance port, we'll move the EDS from the offset string 10, and then we'll call for the next line and call right string, move the EAS from the change, and then we call the right that. After that, we'll return back to the main port. All right. And for the farewell port, we'll call for next line, move it AS to the from the change. So we compare the ES with the number 0. So here are the sum of the different output if after we compare the number with the 0. So if the user have not enough money to buy the drink, and then we'll move the fail task. So we call the next line, and then we'll move EDS from the offset string 12. So the string 12 is insufficient balance and place insert more requirements. All right, and then we call the right string, call for the next line, move EDS from the offset string 13. So the string 13 is about thank you for using our vending machine. So, okay. And then after that, we call the right string, call the next line again, and then return back. So this actually stands for the, it's a sign for the success. And then for the done is, yeah, they are the same. Just remove the EDS from the offset string, and then that will display the line there in the variable. And then we call the right string, call the next line, and then we return back to our matplot. So basically, this is our code here, and we'll try to build solution and debug it. Start to debugging. So firstly, let's try to have our 10 cent. We have 3 10 cent, 2 20 cent, and 1 50 cent. So we have 120 cent. So we'll try for the output which the number of the money for the user is sent for the number for the drink which that is required. So we choose 4, then 1. So they will display your order is mocha, and then your changes is 0. So please enjoy your drink. Thank you for using our vending machine. Right. And then we have we'll try with the next output which. So here we'll try the second condition which the user have enough and even more money that requires the money that requires to buy the drink. Okay, that's right. So your order is chocolate, sorry, and then your changes is 50 cents. Yeah, it will show the changes, how many the changes if the user have output more money that is required for the drink. Okay, the last one, 1 0 1. So the third condition will test for insufficient money that's input by the user. Let's say we have 3 1. So it shows that your order is coffee, but the user have insufficient coffee, so it will write it will display there is insufficient balance and please insert more coins. So thank you for using our vending machine, and yeah, that's all for the output. And then I think that's all for all the explanation and the code for this project. So thank you for watching.